Today's our topic, chapter number 12, class 6, Beyond Earth. Nubra is a beautiful region in Ladakh. An 11-year-old girl, Yongdol, and her twin brother, George, live in on one of the villages of this region. They love their surrounding, the majestic mountain peak and the glacier, but their favorite is the night sky when the entire sky is lit up with sound of stars. The weather in the Nubra is almost cloudless with almost no air, no light pollution. The night sky is very clearly visible. Night after night, Young Dole and Dorothy observe the star and experience an immense sense of awe. Growing up, Young Dole and Dorje have been hearing interesting story about stars from their elders. They have heard how some particular star in the skies help the caravans passing through Nubra in finding direction in the ancient days. They wonder how far away and how big the stars are. They also enjoy trying to find some patterns among the stars. They remind them of familiar objects. Have you ever looked at the star in the night sky and tried to you ever looked at the star in the night sky and try to connected them imaginary like just like dots and light in a drawing? Activity 12.1, let's draw. Figure 2.2 show bright star in one part of the night sky. Look at it carefully and try to image a pattern formed by group of stars. Draw lines to connect the stars and make the pattern. Think of an animal or an object that is similar to the pattern drawn by you. Write its name near your pattern. Repeat the above steps and make some more patterns. Now, think of an interesting story about your parents. Compare your patterns with the patterns drawn by you and your friends. Are the patterns same or different? Narrate your story to other and listen to their story. Do you notice that everyone's patterns, name and story are different? It is not fun. Star and constel- constellations. At night, when we look up at the sky, we see many stars. Some stars are bright and others are dim. Stars shine with their own light. Some group of stars appear to form patterns which are like shape of familiar things. Long ago, when watching star in the night sky was a favorite pastime of our ancient, they identify these star patterns with animals, things, or characters in story. Many cultures had names for patterns based on their own story. These imaginary shapes help them in recognize star in the sky. Recognizing stars and their patterns was a useful skill for navigation in the olden times. Before the arrival of modern technology, or even before the invention of the magnetic compass, it helped people, particularly sailors and travelers, in finding direction at sea or on land. It is still used in imaginaries as a backup method. In early times, group of stars forming patterns were called constellation. Currently, the region of sky which include these group of stars are identified as a constellation. However, since in constellation the pattern of stars are often the most prominent, the term constellation is still commonly used for these group of stars. And more to know, since different culture denoted the constellation bounding in different way, an internationally agreed set of constellation boundary were defined by the International Astronomical Union, IAU. In the earlier 20th century, 88 constellations were officially listed, thus dividing the entire sky into 88 regions. These regions of skies are now defined as a constellation. Some constellations are shown in figure 12.3. The stars are joined by imaginary line. Draw for easily identification. The constellation Orion is often represented as a hunter. There are three stars in the middle which represent the belt of the hunter. Some people imagine that the hunter Orion, followed by his dog, is batting a bull, and Canis Major contain a star called Ceres, which is the brightest star in the night sky. This is the Sirius, Canis, Orion, and Tarun. And this is the pattern. And more to know, in Indian astronomy, the terms nakshatra is used to denote either a certain star or a group of stars. As a Adra, a star called Betelgeuse in the Orion constellation, and Kritika, a group of stars called Pleiades in the Tarun's constellation. Aldebaran, a star in the constellation Tarun, is known as a Rohini. Two distinct patterns of stars, the bigger deeper and the little deeper, are shown in figure 12.4. The pole star or Polaris, which is part of the little deeper, is shown in figure 12.4. The pole star appears stationary in the north direction, which helps to locate the north direction in the northern hemisphere. And more to know, the bigger deeper lies in the constellation Ursa Major, while the little deeper lies in the constellation Ursa Minor. In India, the bigger deeper is known as the Saptarishi and the polar star is known as the Dhurutara. And do you know, apart from common reason story associated with stars in the constellation, many forest dwelling communities or tribes of India also have their own story about them. For example, the four stars in the Big Dipper, the approximately from a rectangle, are viewed by tribal in the central India as the grandmother court with the three thieves, other three stars stelling it. Fishermen along the Konkan coast imagine the fourth star as a boat, with the last three star as the neck of the boat. An activity 12.2, night sky watching. If it is a clear cloudless night, a large number of stars may be visible in the sky. If you stay in a big city, you may find that the sky is rarely clear and only a few stars are seen in the night sky. This is due to light pollution, smoke, and dust. The presence of excessive artificial light at night time is referred to as a light pollution. In villages or area where there is less light pollution, a large number of stars can be seen. Also, your house may be surrounded by tall buildings and trees, which may block your view. The night sky is best view from open dark area. And do you know, light pollution is growing sharply globally. This is reducing our ability to enjoy and study objects in the night sky. Some dark sky reserve and parks have been established around the world. Light pollution in the reserve is controlled to perceive dark sky from research. There are a few organizations which are working to educate people about reducing light pollution. Not all stars and constellations are visible from all places on earth and on all night in a year. For example, the pole star is not visible from the southern hemisphere of Earth. To identify a star or constellation, you need to know how a particular constellation look like and where to look for it in the night sky. To get familiar with the pattern of the constellation you may use images such as a figure 12.3 and figure 12.4 to find out when and in which portion of the sky a star or a constellation will be visible from your location. You may take the help of sky making apps that can be downloaded on mobile phone or other online resources. Ask Map is a very handy app. Sky Map is a very handy app for identification of stars, constellation and pattern from mobile phones. Stellarium is another such app. The computer version of Stellarium is free for download and has many features. Preparing for night sky watching under the guidance of adult, identify a dark open area for night sky watching. This should be away from lights, tall building and trees. Choose the date and time based upon what you plan to identify in the night sky. Choose a moonless night with no cloud, particularly for the pole star, which is not very bright. It may be useful to have access to a mobile app with a sky map or print out image of the constellation you plan to view. You may also carry a magnet compass to find direction and a notebook to note or draw your observation. On the particular day and time selected, go to the identify place with an adult where the night sky watching is to be done. After researching there, wait for about half an hour for your eyes to get adjusted to the darkness. This will be help to see the night sky better. You may easily identify the bigger dipper and the pole star in the night sky. And now activity 12.2, let's try to locate. Look for the big dipper during summertime in the early part of the night, say around 9 p.m. View the sky above the horizon towards the northern part of the sky and identify the bigger dipper. Once you identify the bigger dipper, try to locate the pole star. Look at the two stars present at the end of the big dipper's cups and image and straight line passing through these toward the north. At about 5 times the distance between these two stars, the imaginary lines will lead to another star which is not very bright. This star is the pole star. You may also locate the bright constellation Orion and the star Sirius in the night sky. In India, Orion is best viewed during the month of December to April after sunset. So look for it during that period. The bright star is a shorter straight line are located around the middle of the Orion. Identify these three stars first, as this is the easiest way to find Orion. Once you identify Orion, it is easy to locate the very bright star Sirius, which is the located close to Orion. Image a straight line passing through the three middle star of Orion and look along this line towards the east. This will be lead to Sirius. Our solar system. The sun is a star. It is the star closest to us. It is an extremely hot spherical ball of gases. The sun gives out of a hug amount of energy and that is why it is glows so brightly. The sun produces heat and light and is the main source of energy on the earth. How big is the sun? It is about 100 times bigger than the earth in diameter, and still it looks so small because it is very far from the earth. The distance of the sun from the earth is about 150 million kilometer. Sun to earth distance 150 million kilometer, a useful unit for expressing distance within the solar system is astronomical unit AU, which is approximately the distance between the sun and earth. And more to know, the sun being the brightest object and the source of light and heat on earth, were evaluated in most ancient civilization to the status of a deity. In India, the sun is worshipped as Surya. The heat provided by sun keeps the earth at a temperature that makes life possible. Sunlight is essential for plant to grow, which provide food and oxygen to climate animals including humans. The sun is responsible for climate, season, weather, water cycle, winds, all of which are important for sustaining life on the earth. And our sun is also a star, so how is it that the sun appears big and light up the sky while the other stars look like bright dots in the night sky and are not even visible during the daytime? However, the sun is much closer to us than the other stars, hence, it appears much bigger than the stars. As the stars, other than the sun, are much further away, they appear like points, even though some of those stars are much bigger than our sun. During daytime, due to the extreme brightness of the sun, it is not possible to view the other stars. The star nearest to us after the sun is Approxima Centauri, which lies at a distance of about 26 9,000 AU. This means that is distance about 16 lakh 2,69,000 times our distance to the sun. Are stars the only object in the sky, or are there more objects which may not have noticed? There are many more objects in the sky. Our Earth, along with some of these objects, and the Sun together from our solar system. Most of these objects move around the Sun. The movement of the object around the Sun is called revolution. And planets, a planet is a large, nearly spherical object that revolves around the sun. Our Earth is a planet as the revolve around the sun as shown in figure 12.7. The Earth takes nearly 1 year to complete one revolution. Like the Earth, there are other planets that revolve around the sun. And more to know, while revolving around the sun, the earth is also rotating